15 minutes with me. And of course, on the show I talk about practically anything that piques my interest, but I'm particular about young ladies, particularly in the age bracket of 20 to 30, when I feel like that is when you're really at the prime of your life. That's when you come into the fullness of your being. Most of you would have finished, would have been done with the basics of your education by this time. You're experiencing freedom for the first time, genuine freedom, usually for the first time in your life. If you went through the university system in Nigeria, that means you've had the opportunity, for some of you, for the first time to leave home, and because of NYSC, and experience an environment that is away from home. So your life is essentially just beginning. And with this freedom comes the propensity to make a whole lot of mistakes, and many of them avoidable. Today, I'll be talking to us about the need to be intentional about our lives. Young ladies, be intentional. And this is not me saying you shouldn't relax, have a good time, go clubbing if you like, chill with your friends. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that moderation is key. Moderation is very important, especially when it comes to the pleasures of life. But in all things, moderation, moderation. Don't overstretch yourself too much in any particular regard that is not aimed at an intentional scale up of your life. There are 3 very important resources every human being has. And all 3 of the 3, 2 are not within our control at all. These 3 resources are, of course, life. You have to be alive at all to experience life, so that's a moot point. Life. Health. Time. I believe these are the 3 most valuable resources at our disposal, be you male or female. But this message is directed particularly at young ladies. You already have life. That's why you can listen to what I'm saying. That's why you can watch this video. If you have health, you practically have no problem, so to speak. Time. Now, life and time are bound together. If you're alive, with each day you wake up, it's another opportunity to experience time, to experience a new day, a new beginning. With each day you wake up, you have a new beginning at your disposal. Health. Health is one of the, out of these 3, you can't really, life ends with death. That's inevitable. And nobody knows when they're going to die. So that's out of your control. Time ends with death. So those 2 are inextricably bound together, life and time. As long as you're alive, you have time. And you can't really control how much of this is at your disposal. So that's out of your control. All you can control about it is the context within which you try to live out the time you have. Your health, however, that you can do something about. Your diet, the kinds of food you eat, if you can do some exercise, your reproductive health. What are you doing with your body as far as being intimate with people is concerned? Are you treating your body like the temple it is? Or is your body a toy? Strictly from a health perspective, as a girl, as a young lady, guard your sexual health jealously. Do not expose yourself to all kinds of infections, diseases. That is very much under your control, except you get violated. Be careful what you do with your body. Eat right. If you can, do some exercise, get involved with sports. Guard your health as jealously as you can. Protect yourself from the basic things, malaria, typhoid, all these things. Be hygienic. Be clean. Take a bath. Keep your body clean. No matter how exhausted you are, at the end of the day, you're too exhausted to take a bath because you have to go out, fetch water, heat it, and this, that, and the other. At least get enough water to wash between your legs, clean your armpits, wash your face. Just try to go to bed fresh. And if you can extend yourself to taking a full bath, morning and evening, fantastic. So, your health, your mental health also. And sometimes we put ourselves in positions where we destroy our health. In many instances, we don't just randomly fall sick. We put ourselves in a position where we pull ill health into our system. If you find yourself constantly involved in toxic relationships, perhaps it's not because all men are bad. It could simply be that you exercise quite a bit of poor judgment when it comes to selecting the kinds of people that you want to bring into your mix. So you experience heartache after heartache after heartache. And by the time you're 28, you are so jaded that when you meet somebody who is genuine, you can't recognize this person. Your mental health has been compromised because of repeated trauma. You expose yourself to relationships where you are treated shabbily. You are treated very badly because you've heard that you're supposed to prove yourself in a relationship. You're supposed to suffer with a guy, and then that's rubbish, it's crap. There are people who proposed to women on the very first day they met them. So they had no idea whether that woman would stick around, whether she would endure any kind of rubbish. They just saw her, liked her, and were like, listen, I like you a lot. I'm at that place in my life where I want to be married. I don't know what's going on in your mind. If you don't mind, you look like the kind of person I'd like to marry. And they marry, and they have a successful marriage, and they live together, they have kids, and the marriage just goes on and on and on. So any proving of self the woman had to do was within the marriage. But here you are, you've gone through repeated relationships where you're with John, you know, he beats you up, he terrorizes you, he treats you badly, whatever money you have, he's taking away from you. You are compromising your mental health. Because somebody has told you that girls like bad boys, so that message is running around in your subconscious, and you are constantly, if there's a gathering of 15 people, you are going to gravitate to the worst person, the worst guy sitting there. You are compromising your mental health. Guard your health jealously. Your sexual and reproductive health, your mental health, your physical health. Guard these three jealously. Be intentional about your life. Be intentional about your life. Okay, you're dating. Why are you dating? You're just dating to have a good time. Okay, that's different. But if you're at that point in your life where you feel like, oh, I need to settle down, I'm done with school, I have a job, I've had a little bit of time to get to know who I am as my own person, and I want to be married, then you need to start dating only the kinds of people that you see yourself eventually settling down with. So if, for instance, you come from the kind of home that always has a say, you allow them to have a say in how you live your life, which is normal. Their opinion matters to you. And you know that your parents would never accept you marrying outside your religion. What are you doing dating somebody outside your religion for 3-4 years? And you say you're ready for marriage. It doesn't make sense. Because you know at the end of the day, your parents' opinion matters. And you know they've taken a hardline stance. You're a Muslim. Your parents would never let you marry a Christian. Their opinion matters to you. And here you are, you've been dating David for 7 years. What's the point? It's either you want to damn the consequences and be with him, or if you really are going to listen to your parents, if their opinion matters, then you are wasting your time. You are at that point in your life where you've decided that you want to be married, you want to settle down, but you're dating 3 married men. Your dating pool consists only of married men. You are sabotaging yourself. I'm not even coming to this from a moral standpoint. I'm coming at it from a place of bare logic. You want to be married and you're dating people who are not available for marriage. So you can't wake up 4 years down the line and say, this person wasted my time. You wasted your time because you shouldn't have been in that relationship to begin with. So be intentional. Time, life, these are the 2 most precious resources. Health, all 3 are intertwined. And if you have all 3, and you're between the ages of 20 and 30 particularly, you are at the prime of your life. Be intentional. Don't take decisions lightly. You're working. Wherever it is you're working, put in your best. Be the best staff there. Be that person whom your boss has, your boss goes into a panic when you don't come to work because of how much of an asset you are at the office. Do not say, oh, after all, I'm just the receptionist. No, it's a stepping stone to bigger things. If you cannot be trusted with something small, the bigger thing will never come your way. Because people will say, she couldn't even handle that one. Why should we give her anything else? Very few people just finish school and then start working at Shell or NNPC. I wanted that to, it didn't happen, it still hasn't happened. But what I did was I was smart enough that what I did have, I valued it and I gave it my best, and it became my stepping stone to other bigger things in my career progression. So be intentional. Be intentional at work, be intentional in your relationships, be intentional with your life. Regardless of what you do, life will happen. But is it not better for you to think to yourself that, okay, this, that, and the other happened to me, but that was not because I did not do my due diligence to myself. These things didn't happen because I was a careless person. I did everything I could to make sure they didn't happen, and they still happened. You have some peace of mind knowing that you tried your best, you gave it your best shot. But when you are not intentional, you're just, you're supposed to come to work from Monday to Friday, you manage to shoot 3 times in 1 week. They're lucky if they see you at the office up to 15 days out of the month. If anybody complains, that person becomes your enemy. Or you are invested in the thought that your boss is trying to hit on you just because he asked you to work a bit overtime once or twice in that month. You never want to apply yourself, even the little that's actually assigned to you to do, you do shabbily, you're not being intentional. If you keep hopping from one toxic relationship to the next, you are not being intentional. If you're at that point in your life where you want to be married and you're staying in relationships that you know will not take you toward the path you want to progress in, you are not being intentional. If you're subjecting yourself, if you're putting your sexual and reproductive health at risk, you are not being intentional. If you are taking compromising videos of yourself, your nudity, and putting it online on platforms that never forget, these are things that will come back to bite you in the neck 10, 15 years from now, when you'd much rather forget that you ever made such a video in your life. Be intentional about your life. Take decisions, think through things before you do them. If you are in school, if you're a student, why are you not applying yourself completely or as much to your studies as you can? That's why you are in school. And most courses are just 4 years long anyway. So why are you not applying yourself as completely as you can to your studies? You will still have enough time to play anyway. That's what vacations are meant for. Remember, God loves you. Love yourself. Be intentional. The 3 most important resources in your life as an individual: your life, your health, your time. Guard them jealously.